golf commission together. Start out with a call to order and roll call.
Yes, sir. Chair Dale,
Present.
Commission Member Johnson,
Present.
Commission Member Lawson, Commissioner or Vice Chair Moore is excused. Commissioner Ottenshot is excused. Commissioner Page.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Connor. Unmute yourself. Commissioner O'Connor, unmute yourself. She's saying present, but she's unmuted. We can go ahead, sir. We have a quorum.
All right, the agenda in this meeting is going to be singular of topic as it is a special meeting, our golf course 2026 rate proposal. Item 1, Surbat Cliffs Golf Course 2026 rate review and recommendations to council. The commission will review the golf course leadership team's rate recommendations. There are 3 back rates, non-resident rates to choose from the percentage discounts that the city, Kingman residents, seniors, veterans. The commissioner has to vote on all of those recommended city council discussion and possible action. Who's the action item on that? Is that you, Mike? Yes. Turn the floor over to you, please. Oh, you know what? We forgot the pledge.
Well,
You mind if I leave
I'm
that?
as long as I'm
Yes, sir.
standing.
We need that more than ever. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Yes.
That's what I do. That's too funny. Carry on, please.
All right, hello to all. You'll see the daily fee rates 2026. It's under 4 categories, which is 9 holes walking, 9 holes riding, 18 holes walking, 18 holes riding. The current prices that are in black are veterans 9, seniors 9, and residents 9, 18 for the appropriate prices. The red markers under seniors and vets are 10% increase, and then below the residents is a 10% increase. So those are the red numbers between 9 walking and riding and 18 holes walking and riding. If you go down below it with the proposed rates, you'll see 3 green shaded areas, which is a $60 non-resident or rack rate divided the same way, 9-hole walking, 9-hole riding, 18-hole walking, 18-hole riding. So if you go from left to right, it'd be 9-hole walking at $60 rate, 22 to walk 9 holes, 32 to ride 9 holes, 40 to ride 18 holes, or walk 18 holes, and 60 to ride 18 holes. Off those, you have a 20% discount, 25% discount, and 30% discount based on seniors, vets, residents. The red numbers in those are rounded up or down based on 20% of $22 is $18.20. So we were asked just to round it to a simple figure. So it was either rounded up or down based on and that's what the red numbers are. The black numbers there, the 20 or 25% and 30% came out to the exact dollar value. So that's why the numbers are black and red. And if you go down so you have a $60 rack rate for 18 holes riding, $65 and $70. And under the $70, because it's the most expensive, I have given you 4 discounted rates, 20, 25, 30, and 35. All of it is right there based on whatever we're looking at to come close to or equate to what the numbers are above with the 10% increase to those 3 factors, seniors, veterans, and residents. To the right of that, you'll see a breakdown by category where it shows we had 53,271 rounds through November 30th of 2025, and it gives you a percentage discount of what they were. So 38.3% of the rounds through the end of November were 18-hole rounds, and then down the line, the top four of those, which is 18 holes passes, 9 holes, and seniors equate to 78% of the total rounds played through November of 2025. So again, it just gives you a simple breakdown of what we're looking at regarding that is, and obviously not even close, the number one is 18-hole rounds of golf. It's almost 40% of what we've done. And so below it, you have, below it shows you what the light shaded areas are, what the green shaded areas. I had just made a simple $10 differential cart rate between 9 holes walking and riding and $20 between 18 holes walking and riding, just to make the math simple. It's hard with the way the point of sale system was set up on how to get the exact numbers of all this stuff. So that's what it is. And one of the instances with this will be also to get a lot more finite with the point of sale system when it comes to juniors, seniors, vets, non-resident, resident, the entire routine. So we're slowly working on that as this slowly goes forward. Any questions that I can answer?
Is that all we're addressing under this topic, is merely the daily rate, then resident, non-resident? Is this literally leaving the resident rate alone?
It is not leaving the resident rate alone. It is going to be based on what the recommendation and eventually decision is on what the quote-unquote rack rate's going to be for non-residents. The resident, senior, and vet, the rate is going to go up a little bit, but it's my understanding that that it was recommended it'd be a 10% increase. And then whatever we come to with this, it goes to the discount of whatever that is, 20, 25%, or 30%. It comes close to equating a 10% increase to seniors, veterans, and residents. I hope I explained that correctly. So this is only the rack rates. This is not discussing the passes. This is not discussing any of that stuff, but it's simply the daily fee rates on what we're charging effective whenever it goes into place, which I'm guessing is fiscal year 27.
And the original driver of this is the request from the council to raise that rate.
It's my understanding, yes.
So if I just want to make sure I'm in the right frame here.
Yes, sir.
So if we're looking at doing the $70 rack rate, just as an example.
Okay.
So we're ultimately giving residents a 30% discount based off of the red number, or am I completely
correct.
off?
So if you go to the top where it says current, and you see resident 18 riding, it says 44. Below it is 48 in red.
Yeah.
Then if you go down to what you just suggested, a $70 rack rate, residents get 30% off. That means their fee is going to be $49, which is really $1 off from what the 10% is. Yes,
So we're basing all of these numbers off of the proposed rack rates for the non-residents.
that is correct.
Okay.
Which is what Commissioner Lawson was driving at the last meeting, was we need to establish that, leaving the membership rate as close as we could. Let's let visitors absorb that increase.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing off of his numbers is I've always liked the 65 number, because I feel like that's still a good bargain for out-of-town players for this course. And then 30% discounts, 45. So it might be, what, Mike? I mean, what's the rate at right now? 44 and some change?
Well, the rate's 44, and if you put a 25% discount, it's 49. If it goes up 10 from 44 to 48,
Well,
right?
yeah, no, like right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right now, it's like $44 and some change, right? To 18 holes in a cart for a resident? Isn't that
It's
correct?
$44.
$44, right?
Even, correct,
Okay.
yeah.
So if we do that 65 with a 30% discount, residents are going to see $1
That's correct.
increase.
That is
Okay.
absolutely correct. Yes, sir.
And I don't think anybody's going to really, personally, I don't think anybody's going to complain about $1, especially if we can get the course, in a lot better shape, which we're doing, pretty fast, I think, so. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
When,
I do too.
when I talked to you at the last meeting, and I promise I'm not trying to jump anywhere. I want to stay laser focused on this. I talked to you about the passes and your statement, and I absolutely believe it's 100% accurate. Your statement was, that's a whole nother ball of worms. And have you spent time on that?
Yes.
Okay, and what are we looking at as a strict percentage increase to passes?
So we're looking at a 10% increase for passes. Right now, there's a $255 difference between our cart fees and a trail fee. Trail fee is $935. The cart fee is $255 more expensive than that. We want that number to be the same. A cart fee is a cart fee. Okay? So the proposal is to raise the 5-day pass and the 7-day pass 10%, keep the 5-day pass with cart and the 7-day pass with cart the same price for 1 year. That way, we are now within percentage points of the cart fees being exactly the same dollar value.
All right,
Okay.
you lost me. You want the 5-day
5-day pass,
and the 7-day pass to be the same.
no, to raise 10%. The 5-day pass with cart and the 7-day pass with cart to stay the same price it is now.
Because we already did a 10% raise earlier this year, correct? Off the memberships?
Correct.
Are we talking about doing another 10% raise once we
That's-
get everything kind of going?
That's what we're looking at.
Okay.
But then raising the trail fee by 10%. Then if you raise the trail fee by 10% and we keep the 5-day, keep the passes with carts the same price, that $255 price tag between the is now minuscule, and we can make a cart fee a cart fee. Whether it's a trail fee or a cart fee is a cart fee for people who want to have passes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
instead of lowering one, you're raising the other.
Correct. Because if you raise both by 10%, you still have the price difference between the two.
Just because I'm neutral, what about lowering 1.5 and raising 1.5?
I don't know why you'd want to.
I'm saying there are a lot of courses, and we discussed this in previous meetings, maybe with you here, maybe prior to you hiring. There are a billion courses that don't even charge trail fees. If you have your own cart, that's its own expense.
I called 8 golf courses, and every single one of them charged trail fees.
And how much was they?
I'd have to go back and look. I
Okay.
don't.
And if I could, there are no municipal golf courses in Arizona that have private carts. So we're the only one that has private carts. So, and private carts are a lot more damaging really than our carts, and for several reasons. One thing is it causes twice as much damage because when private cart goes out, if 2 people have a private cart, we have 2 carts going out, not one of our carts. So
I'll agree with that.
You know, that, and many of the private carts, obviously there are, like I said, 1 person on a cart. They have, a lot of them have aggressive tires, go faster, and they're turn sharp and tear the turf and do things like that too. So, and they're not controlled by the GPS, so they can drive up on the tees, up on the greens, right by the greens. And so there's just different challenges with them, is why we feel that they should be the same fee as our regular carts.
What would
Primarily
the-
the damage. I mean,
What would the new-
cart traffic does damage to the golf course. Our carts do, our maintenance vehicles do, everything does, but the private carts end up causing twice as much damage because if 2 people have a private cart, they're not riding together. They're going to take their own.
Right.
But Mike, you've done some of that damage to yourself by making me pay for a seat and that seat be assigned to a person. I have people that would ride with me gladly, but you will not give them a nickel's discount, so they'll get a cart and go park it in the parking lot. My wife can ride in my cart. That's it. I can't even take my son. That's a built-in, you shot yourself in the foot on that one, my friend.
Well, not me. It's the policy is that you pay
Then we
for,
need to modify
if you
that
have somebody
policy.
riding in the cart, they should have to pay. Whether they pay our cart fee or cart fee.
If I want to ride with my son, he pays for a green and he gets a cart and he goes parks it in the parking lot. So it's not rented twice. And I think that that's stupid. But he wants to ride with me. Give him a discount. He'll ride with me. My seat's already paid for 2. I don't think my wife needs to show ID to crawl into a cart that's registered in the state of Arizona to her. I understand what you said, and I agreed with you 100% when you said it. It is a whole nother can of worms, but we've got to be fair across the board of however we're raising these, however we're discounting from that raise, and you can't penalize somebody because they have a private cart or desire to have a private cart no more than you can penalize someone because they want to have a rental. It's a preference. It's an old rule, and if we don't want private carts, then let's bring that up as a topic and outlaw private carts. But when we're doing the rates, I just don't understand why that seems to be the first thing that gets gigged, and it's never negotiable, and the rules on it are restrictive, and all of these things. I'm 100% agreeing with you on the damage, the singleness, the tires. I'm with you on all that. Those are valid arguments. But there's got to be a way to come to this to where we get out of our own way and make it work for all. Number 2, young people don't own carts. I just, across the board, look at who owns the carts. We're back to, I'm going to stand here and represent the senior citizens, and all of these increases to fixed income people are harmful. And you're talking 10% here. Yeah, Social Security just went up 3. Or Medicare just went up 3. They're right. I'm just saying, you're a 10% increase in June. You want to gig it another 10% in January. We have to be a little more considerate of the fixed income folks in this town, because that's making up your private car people, and that's making up, by your own chart, your next in line amount of rounds played at 15% when the rack rate was at 38%, right? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
If I could chime in for you, Dale, like, I understand with the cart thing, and I think that's something we should maybe talk about, is trying to do some sort of a discount. If somebody is gonna say, hey, I don't need to rent my own cart, but I'm gonna hop in with my dad or my friend that owns their own cart, because then the city's making money off of it and not doing any damage to our cart. So I definitely agree that I don't think they should be able to ride with you for free, personally. But
No,
I think a discount might be something we could talk about doing. But to chime in about the increases in all the fees and stuff like that, like, it sucks to say, but, golf's a luxury, like we've talked about, right? And we haven't seen a rate increase at Surbat Cliff since 2019. And like I went over last time, most other courses in the country have doubled. And we've done one 10% increase, and we're talking about doing another 10%. So we are so far below the norm on what's been happening in the country of golf, like in the States in the last 7 years, that we're just trying to play catch up and doing these couple increases. Like, I've said it 1,000 times over, like, if we get to where I got to pay $60 or $65 as a resident to play Surbat Cliffs, and it's like real nice, and like, I have no problem doing that. It's just too bad, but it's
Well,
just
and
where it is.
on top of that, if we're gonna do an increase for residents and non-residents, then shouldn't there be an increase as well to the pass holders? Like, that's my kind of logic. We can't just give the pass holders a break.
Yeah, no, and they did the
If that
last
makes
time.
But
And the pass holders play a lot more golf than daily
Right.
fees. They wear the place out too, because
Oh, yeah.
they try to get that rate down to, my private cart and my green fee down to $5 a round, some of them do, so,
Oh, yeah, they do a good job with it.
yeah.
So, no, but I also agree, like,
But-
I think you're doing good by doing the same kind of increases, 10%. Because me personally, I always buy my membership, but I'm probably so close borderline to even it becoming profitable for me, or a good business decision. Like, I probably play on average maybe once a week. There's a couple weeks where I'll play 2 or 3 times, and then there's a month where I won't play once here. So I'm very close, but if you raised it a bunch to make it harder on those guys that are playing 4 or 5 days a week, then it would make it tough on guys like me that only want to use it on average once, twice a week, So I like what you're doing, just doing the 10% for, it's keeping it
Yeah.
still good.
what would the new single person 7-day-a-week trail fee be?
Well, the trail fee's 5 or 7, but it's $935 plus 10%. So that's 93, 140 something in that vicinity? 115, I can't remember offhand. I've done this number a handful of times, but I can't remember offhand.
Yeah.
Well, then, okay, then
Oh,
let's.
wait, wait, 93, 7,
if
about
I'm off-
125.
If I'm off base, and this maybe shouldn't be part of what we're discussing now, what I'm saying is, this all needs to be done and presented to the council as a package. And at that last meeting, passes were dismissed, trail fees were dismissed, they weren't really discussed. No fault on you, I'm merely saying, you admitted that we need to go back to the drawing board on that, see where we're at on that. These incrementals, the rack rates, the non-resident, resident, veteran, seniors, there needs to be a senior rate for trail fees. There needs to be a senior rate, veterans rate for trail fees. I'm just saying, if we're gonna do it, let's do it across the board fairly. And the message I took out of last meeting was, I think the 7 of us, and I am absolutely not speaking for everyone, the 7 of us agreed. What Sean just said, we needed to look at some rate increases. We needed to see from Mr. Moore and the city that things were worthy of a rate increase and that we were bang for the buck. But at the same time, it needed to be absorbed bulk by the non-natives based on that's how the other courses are making their revenue, is visitation. Then it's a Chamber of Commerce issue, not a Mike Mearsman running the billboard, right, for locals. But we, as residents, should have some flat rate fee that we pay because it's our course and we're tied into the water, and we're tied into the sewer, we're tied into the the property tax on our vehicles, everything else, I get it. And when I'm playing Lofton Ranch, I'm not part of any of that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, and I don't want to speak for Mike, but it's under my assumption that all the numbers are generated based off whatever rack rate we choose from this conversation.
Yeah, I think
Correct.
Right.
So
That's
that's why I think
I'm agreeing with
these numbers are so important for us to talk about and look at and come to an agreement, because you can't do anything really unless we have that set rack number.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're here to decide 1, 2, or 3 rack rate, right? 60, 65, or 70, and then we're supposed to pick a percentage off that we want to do for residents, correct?
Correct.
And then it'll go to city council or whatever, and then that's when they'll talk about it, I would imagine, because it's not going to be our say
Correct.
on what happens, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just kind of that's what I thought. So is that all we're here to do today? So we're not just beating around the bush trying to talk about, because I think what I'm saying, Dale, is when we do pick out a number that we want and a percentage off to where it gets to those numbers we like, then that will determine what the price is going to be for the memberships and all that stuff for the annual passes.
Right, but if we don't discuss that now, then is it not too late after the council's got it? When do we discuss it after he presents it to council? We're not voting on it. The council's voting. We're not gonna approve it. We're gonna make a suggestion. We're merely an advisory board. It goes to the council. The council thinks it has our blessing. I can't think of another time when you wouldn't want to discuss it. I'm merely saying, I need numbers today from my friends that are getting beat up, that are not getting getting only cost of living raises through Social Security, Medicare, whatever. They're gonna wanna know, leaving this meeting today, what their next year pass is gonna cost, regardless of the rack rate. And everybody I know's either doing the rent-to-own deal on using your cart or have their own cart, so. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna let the opportunity slip by me of advising something to the council and say, wow, wish we'd discussed that. I need to see hard, cold numbers of, this is gonna be a 5-day pass with a trail fee, this is gonna be a 5-day pass with a city-owned cart, those types of things. Then I can see in my personal finances what I need to come up with to adjust to that. Setting a rack rate can be something completely individual of whatever you're doing on the annual passes, the rentals of annual carts. You're in a situation where you rent carts annually, based on that trail fee, correct? I mean, they pay what's the equivalent of a city trail fee, or is it just, when they buy an annual pass, they tell you at that time they're gonna be using their cart, and then you have a rate for that?
Correct. It's either a pass with cart or a pass with trail fee.
Okay.
They're not the same.
Or a pass walking?
Or pass.
Well, here's what I'm kind of thinking maybe then.
That's why I didn't want the, I didn't, that's
Yeah, I
why,
understand. Can we maybe talk about what numbers we like on here? So maybe we can give to them and say, this is what we like. Next meeting on the, for next month, the actual one, when we hopefully have all 7 here.
yeah.
Can we
treat this like-
get what the 5-day, 7-day passes with the carts? Can we maybe introduce something in there about, a discount on the trail fee if you're gonna ride with somebody that has their own cart? Is that something we can talk about then to where we can bang it all out next time?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I think we'll just kind of pick from here what we like, and I already said I like 65 and a 30% discount. That gets us down to, it raises it $1 more for residents on an 18-hole with carts,
I'm in agreement with
and
that.
it raises it, what's that?
$20.
Almost $20. So
Yeah,
I think right now it's like 48. So
Yeah,
a little bit less than that, but still,
yeah,
I love that. I think it's a good start.
yeah.
You
I
know?
agree.
And if we see good progress on that, then
We can treat this like a work meeting, and then I'm not the guy I'm not your professor and not trying to assign you homework, but I would like to see that as a hard copied presentation of doing this at that 65 with these senior resident rate discounts. These are going to be the new crash register amounts of what we're going to charge you as you check in, because that's what I'm going to deal with, is the dollar amounts and all of that. So knowing what I pay now, then I'll have a direct proportion of, is my rate going up 10 or more, or is it going up 8% or whatever? I'm not being obstinate to the fact that the rate increase is requested, and we are an advisory board, but I think the council would agree with us that you have some seniors out there that we need to take care of. You've got some veterans out there, and if their bailiwick is to have their own cart and to golf 7 days a week, man, I want to help empower them and not break the budget. I don't want someone to stop golfing because we price them out. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from friends that they are on that ragged edge.
So what you're asking for is, on the pass holder side, are you also asking for a resident pass holder rate and a senior pass holder rate?
Absolutely. Which we didn't discuss at all, because at the last meeting agenda was merely that the council had gone forward, and then I was the only one that brought up the pass thing, and it literally hit you in the chest, because it was like, oh boy, that is a whole nother can of worms. And so, yeah, these guys can be, the other 6 can be wildly focused on the rack rate and all that, but I know 2 of us are going to be interested in the senior pass and trail fees and that. So, yeah, and we're all a very good representative of our
So
groups
does this mean you're also looking at a non-resident pass holder rate?
Yeah, because you've got the city council is established.
I don't think it should just be if you have, city of Kingman limits, basically, because a lot of the courses around here, they let Mojave County resident rate.
If I could,
Yeah.
it's anybody with a City of Kingman address. And it used to be the school district, but how it's looked at is anybody who pays the majority of their sales tax, which our golf course is funded by the general fund, that anybody that's contributing a lot of money into the sales tax to our community is who should get the discount. And when you're talking about other golf courses in there, you're not talking about municipal golf courses. Municipal golf courses are almost always, if you live in the city of whatever it is,
Yeah.
that's who gets the discount. And Laughlin Ranch and those places are different. They're not municipally owned. They're a resort type course and things like that, and they try to do whatever they can to get you out there. So I mean, and we're trying to, and if we do that, broaden that, it's also going to cut back on the top line of our rack rates here. There's not going to be near as many of those. So, we think that people in Havasu and everybody in Bullhead should pay the rack rate, not our discounted rate. So.
Yeah, no, and I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're still getting a deal if they come up to
Yeah, they
Kingman and
are.
pay 65. It's
Yep.
like, I think the cheaper courses on one of the rounds is like 85 or something.
Right.
But back to the golf commission, it's not established by us, that's out of our purview. Paragraph number 4, under the resident discount area has been set by council as anyone with the City of Kingman address. Most city-owned golf courses, the area is the city boundary. And we discussed, I know that I have discussed this, you got a whole nother issue with water bills. You got a whole bunch of people on water bills that are county, and we've looked at that before. I know the council has looked at that before on parks and different things. That, as far as I'm concerned, that needs to be established by the city council, and that we need to live with that. But it's something for you to consider.
Technically, I'm not supposed to.
Right.
We just turned this into a work meeting, Smiley.
But,
I mean,
But I'm saying, okay, then under our purview, we don't establish that boundary.
is that something we can look at doing, some non-local, which I never thought we'd need to, but, I mean, looking at it now, I think we do need kind of non-resident, pass holder, basically.
Yeah, I can do that.
We could bring the season pass stuff back at the next meeting.
Okay.
And we also have another daily fee one that's not on here that we talked about too, where it's going to be, this was recommended to us to do somebody that doesn't have a season pass or a trail fee, but still wants to bring their own private cart out, where they would pay $200 to register their cart, and then they would pay full green fee and full cart fee every time they brought their cart out. So that's another one that would be for the discussion at that meeting too.
Okay.
They would pay, you follow what I'm saying? They'd
Yeah,
pay
I
$200 to
understand.
register their cart.
Yeah.
We were told someplace in Flagstaff has this, but we called all the golf courses there. We can't find somebody that has that, but we're not totally opposed to thinking of the idea. It's just, it's a way for people that have private carts and want to bring their private cart a couple times a year, 3, 4, 5 times a year, maybe not come every week. They could, like I say, pay the $200, register the cart, and then pay full green fee and full cart fee when they come, so.
Okay.
Mike,
Well,
is that why you've brought up, I'm just looking down the line, the resident ID card to kind of eliminate the,
Well, because here's the deal. If this is going to be strict boundary by whatever that boundary is,
Right.
then the city of San, and the comparisons are the city of San Diego
yeah,
that owns Torrey Pines, 36 holes at Torrey Pines. They own 27 holes at Balboa Park and 18 and 9, and they own Mission Bay Golf Course, which is a small 18-hole golf course, 14 par 3s, 4 par 4s. In order to get the resident rate, you must go through their website to get a resident ID card. And you actually have a card, which I have one, for a resident ID. And when you go play somewhere, they scan you and you get the resident rate.
yeah.
The city of Encinitas, which a friend of mine is a director of golf, they have it done through ID.me, where they go in and they put down they go through the resident and they have to prove ID with some sort of ID or whatever the thing says, tax form, driver's license to prove that there's a city of Encinitas, that they are a resident of the city of Encinitas, then they get tee times 9 days in advance. And so that gives them a day ahead of everybody else. And so if we're going to do this and we're going to have the resident rate and the quote unquote non-resident rate, we can't have all the resident members walking into the pro shop showing me all this stuff, or the city hall showing all the stuff. It should be done like everybody else through a website.
I like it.
So, and once this is established and it's taken care of, it's going to be a month or two before it actually goes into effect. Then along with IT and ID.me, they can get all this taken care of so people have plenty of time. They don't have a day, they may have 90 days to, and it's a 10-minute, 15-minute process online to have and then once they're in that, then they go, and then once it comes to our point of sale system, which I've already talked to the people with our point of sale system on how can we combine the two, and they go, yep, we know exactly what you do, and here's how we can do it. I don't need the definitive answers, but I just need to know, can you do it, yes or no? So then you come in to play golf and you're a resident and you've already gone through the process of doing it online. And when we put your name in, it comes up resident, you automatically get the resident rate. You don't have to show us anything because you've already done all the work. And so and then if someone hasn't done that, then they get charged the rack rate. You want to do it, then you got to go online and here's how you do it and get it taken care of. But it takes the onus off us in the shop, or takes the onus off the people down here at the city building, and puts the onus on the resident to get it taken care of. And like I said, they don't have to do it tomorrow, but we will give them plenty of opportunity to get this taken care of, to where, and then myself or Mike Southland, in the meantime, we talk to Golf Now and how we're going to do this, and we get all this done in the back channels, along with our IT department, on making sure this is as smooth as possible, knowing there's going to be some kinks because there always is, but try to get it done as smoothly as possible with as much advance warning as possible, so everyone, by the time everything hits, they've done all their work, it comes in as a resident, and then it comes in as a non-resident. So if somebody from Bullhead goes, yep, I'm a resident, well, sorry, but this is what you're paying, and go from there.
Yeah, because doing this ID meet doesn't cost
Doesn't cost you a
anybody, right?
penny.
You just do it all, it's all online, you don't get like a card or nothing, it just shoots to
Yep,
your,
just shoots it online
shoots to
and,
your system,
correct.
saying this guy registered, he's online, and
Yep.
he's a local. Okay,
correct.
Perfect.
And then we'll figure this all out. When it comes to ID.me, get a hold of them, have IT talk to them to get it all figured out with their point of sale through Golf Now, to where they all can talk to each other and get it done correctly, because ID.me does this all over the place. So this is nothing new to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Mike, it streamlines check-in,
Yes, it does. No, 100%. But it seems like checking for everybody.
streamlines it for you, your employees, everybody.
Just for the record too, I wanted everybody, you guys on the commission, to know that I have been in contact with IT. They don't have any issues with it, and now it's in legal. So once I get an okay from Carl, basically, or his office, that it's something that we can go with if that's the route we decide to go.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
It's the way the world's going, and I don't see why it wouldn't go that way here. I have no problem with that. Just for the mere fact that, like you said, the onus is on the resident, and then from there, it streamlines everything for everybody. No waiting in lines, none of that. I think it'd be a good thing.
Right, because when I did with the city of San Diego, it took me 15 minutes. And the reason why I did it is because the city of San Diego doesn't have an industry rate for golf professionals. They just don't, which is fine. I really don't care. But it took me 15 minutes to do what I needed to do. And then I got the thing, and when I went to Torrey to play golf, they showed it. Then they gave me an ID card, and now I have an ID card if I ever played anywhere else within the city. And it's a very simple process.
Yeah, the city of Phoenix has it too.
Right. So I'm telling you, if you go to any municipal golf course or anything along those lines, they're going to have something along the lines like this to make sure that and the city of Encinitas, they do it on purpose. They do it like they're really strict with it, because once I was told this by my buddy, once the residents once the residents get the tee times 9 days in advance, 92% of their tee times are gone. And so that's, again, why they are very strict with it, because 92% of their tee times are gone on the first day of the city residents getting the tee times. And but he says it's a very simple thing. They've worked out all the kinks. They don't have any problems with it. And if you look at ID.me, it says we do this worldwide. And I mean, it's done. So this is nothing new for ID.me. It'll be nothing new for IT to get taken care of. It'll be nothing new for Golf Now, because I know Golf Now does it with other companies regarding something along these lines. So we're not doing something in the dark to people. They all kind of know what's going on.
My experience with that too is military bases.
I was working at one, and
Yep.
we did the same thing.
Yep, I have my ID for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I was at the military base, everyone showed up, had to show their ID, period. Whether it was retired, vet, officer, whatever it was, everyone had to show their ID.
So
So-
what's the homework assignment you need from us, and what's the homework assignment that you feel you need to accomplish to make this move forward at the February meeting?
Well, you want,
If we establish today the $65 rack rate, then from there you could go out and get us price sheets of, this is what a resident rate would be, this would be the pass, this would be the trail fees, this would be all of it down the line, and then maybe show us a plus minus what the increase was to those fees. Then I'd like to make a motion that we agenda item the draconian policy that we have for the carts, the private carts, and that second seat, that needs to be addressed because that's harming you. That's harming the city.
Is that something you can look into, Mike? See if maybe do a half off, like we get $5.
I think we do get something off. I think it'd be good. I don't know,
Right?
you know.
I think it'd be fair.
Yeah.
We're getting free money and not getting any more wear on the course out of it. So if
We
you
could
can
look at it.
think of something on your end, what you think
Yeah.
would be good, then maybe
We'll
we
talk
could
to
bring
some
it
other
up.
places and see what they do too, but
Well, in consideration of that, Mike, that's why I had the kid park the cart out next to his car. I said, ride with me, we'll be in my car. He wanted to ride with me anyway. But at the same time, the city's not renting the cart twice. We weren't going for it, but me and my son could have easily, he paid for it, but rode with me, pretended he was my wife, I guess. But it's just, it's a bizarre, silly policy, and we need to address it.
we'll bring all that back and we'll bring the other rate back to the $200 registration fee for people that want to register their cart and pay daily fee and green fees. Cart fee and daily fee.
Not a problem. Yep.
Appreciate you, Mike.
This is great info. This is fabulous.
Thank you.
I appreciate this. This is
Yep.
great stuff.
I like it.
You've done work. It's obvious you've done work. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Joel,
Thank you.
Anything from Brendan or Carol, I don't want to be dismissive of them.
I agree with what you're discussing. And I agree with 65 for non-resident, 30%, so we can keep it in line. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you going to make a motion to that effect?
Oh, so we can just go ahead and vote on that?
Yeah, I think we should vote on
65
that.
and 30%,
Yep.
just as the rack straight, and so then they can do their numbers on the pass holders for all that? You wanna take a vote on that, Dave?
Okay, so I will make a motion that we would establish the new 2026 proposed rack rate at 60% with the discounts as listed in the
65.
presentation. Or 65, excuse me. Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Did Brendan have anything else he wanted to add? I meant to ask you. Brendan? Nothing?
I don't think he heard.
Okay. So that's all on
I don't know
the,
if you can hear me, but no, I do not.
Okay.
so that's all we got on the agenda.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
mean,
My
I'm excited
apologies
about
for not including you, Brendan, earlier. And Carol, my apologies.
that's gonna be a lot to discuss next meeting, so that's good.
Yeah.
Keep it low and.
What,
For sure.
what is currently on that agenda? We had some holdover items, did we not, Sherry, for next month's agenda? Or do you know? You'll know more next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. I'll know more next Wednesday. We have items for the agenda. Yes, we do.
Perfect.
What is the date for the next meeting?
Well, Ms. Carroll, one of the reasons that I'm asking is because I know you want to discuss that state law for penalty for using a debit card.
Debit cards?
February 11th
Okay.
All right. Cool.
is the next meeting.
All right.
Be here
So
before
can
you
we
know it.
agenda item that I thought Mike was going to do some research into that, Mike, get with Tina on that. There are litigious issues happening in the valley about the debit cards being charged like a credit card, what's it called, a convenience fee. And we wanted that explained to us, even if Miss Moline needed to come in and, so if we could put that on the agenda, please. Carol, correct me if I'm wrong, we believe we understand that on a credit card transaction, that's gonna be charged, but should not be on a debit card, correct?
According to Arizona state law,
Yes.
from what I've read.
Anything else you can think of that we discussed in the December meeting?
One question I did have is, we're gonna have like a junior rate or something too, right? We don't really see anything directly on here. Is there gonna be a?
Not changing.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. I just was
Yeah,
curious because I didn't see
that's-
anything on here. I
that's
don't
what
want,
we
I wanna make
discussed in
sure.
December.
All
Yeah.
right, good.
I believe
Yeah.
you said that in December, you were not
Yes.
gonna mess with
Not
that. You
gonna
want
mess with
all the
those.
juniors out there all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
But thanks for clarifying that, Sean, that's good. Anybody got anything else? Mr. Friend, welcome back, good to see you. Anything else?
Should be good.
Do you have anything you'd like to bring up? Okay. Share with us our appreciation for Alex and the weekly report, he's killing it.
Absolutely.
His public speaking is improving, he's doing very good. He is covered for you well. Very good. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
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 Thank you very much, Sherry. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Smiley. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.